Howdy folks, I'm CT and this is CT in My Shoes, a channel that tries to allow everyone to experience what it's like to be a larger than life character in the fitness space. I have been working on my fitness journey for the last year and a half, 2 years now. And in doing so, I've decided that I want to take the triathlon path. There are a lot of different paths. There's the marathon, there's the weightlifter, there's the specialist in bikes. I actually like kind of swimming, biking, walking, all of it. So I decided to go the triathlon route. Now, one of the barriers to entry that you'll hear from a lot of people who are overweight, obese, fat, really whatever adjective you want to say, is that they don't have the equipment or the support that they need to continue training. They feel like they're left out. They feel like there's a barrier to entry, whether it's sizing or fit or comfort. And I've experienced that personally. I'm 6'5" and I'm just under 450 pounds right now. And I've experienced this my whole life. I had a size 14 shoe when I was going into 9th grade. It was impossible to find cleats my size back then. And sure, everyone always says, well, the basketball players can do it and they have bigger feet. Yeah. They also have multi-million-dollar contracts. I'm a normal human. I don't have some unrealistic amounts of money. So what I wanted to do today is walk you through the gear, the brands that I've found that work for me. Now, I'll put a disclaimer because there may be some brands on here that you personally hate. There may be some brands that you love that I left off this list. I'm just saying from my experience, these are brands that I have found that have sizes that work for a large human, and I think they can help you. Now, this specific segment is focusing on the walking side, the walk-run side of the fitness journey that I'm on. I will also do an episode specific to cycling, and I'll do an episode specific to swimming. And I'll probably also do just an everything else episode. But this one is specific to the walking, running aspect of it. And in 8th grade, I had a Latin teacher, and he always would joke with like, I know it's not real Latin, but he would say, semper ubi sub ubi, always wear underwear. I know that doesn't translate exactly to that, but you get the gist. So we're going to start there, the taboo subject of underwear. Because as a big person, if you've ever been overweight, if you've ever felt overweight, I live in Florida. You know the word chub rub or chafing. It is brutal. It is real. It is terrible. Everyone probably has experienced it. I don't care what size you are. When the humidity is 90% and it's 90 degrees outside, that is the last thing you want. So let's start there. Now, I love cotton. I grew up in Memphis. We're all about cotton. We're, the fabric of our lives. You've seen those commercials, all that. Cotton's a no-go. If you are overweight, stay away from cotton. It gets heavy, it gets saggy, it gets painful. I personally recommend Duluth Trading Company. They have a line called the Armachillo Boxer Short, Boxer Brief. These are the long version because I have long legs. And they are made out of a very lightweight, breathable material. They say it has some cooling element in it as well. I've been wearing this specific brand of underwear since 2015 when I moved to Saudi Arabia and the temperature would be 130 degrees every day. This was a lifesaver. I brought that love of Duluth Trading Co. back with me to the States when I moved back, and I have not looked back. Now, recently my nephew introduced me to a brand called Ethica, and Ethica is like a similar feel. They have these crazy patterns. The problem is they don't have a hole to go to the bathroom, so you have to like 4th grader it and pull the underwear down or use a stall, so it's kind of weird. Other than that, they actually do have large person friendly sizing. Now also keep in mind that all of these recommendations trend towards body types that lean towards the masculine. So I don't wear any chest support. I need more masculine type clothes. So if you don't fit in that, this won't be good for you. But for you big guys, this brand, this line is amazing. I started off with the Buck Naked line from Duluth, and they were good, but they didn't come close to the comfort that this brings. Now, the nice part about these, I'm a big dude, but I actually wear a 3X in these. I don't wear a 4X. They come in, I think, 4 colors. Black is my go-to. I have some blue as well, but black, you know, great. Next up in the line, still from Duluth. It's actually, this is the shirt version. It is the Buck Naked, so it's that waffle material. It's a nylon blend, so it breathes real well. It keeps you cool. I wear the tank tops pretty much every day, all day, under everything. These are the way to go. I have black, gray, white, and blue. These things, I will continue buying them until they go away. I love them. They have served me so well. They have kept me cool. They keep me looking at least somewhat decent and not stretched out. They last for a long time. Now, these I do wear a 4X in, but I like it to be a little bit bigger. I don't want it to be tight. I have Under Armour that I do wear for some tighter fits. But yeah, so that's kind of my basic for like the under. Next, we'll talk about socks. I found a brand on Amazon, and I want to throw this out there also. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. I am not getting a single penny from any of them. This is just my experience. This is what I've learned. I have sweated out miles and burned through other brands and had to return these Instagram brands that don't work. That way you don't have to. Hopefully you can come in here. I'm going to put the links down on the bottom to these specific items, but hopefully you can just come in and say, thank you so much, CT, for the help. And maybe you can build on it. Send me recommendations. Send me brands that you've fallen in love with. But Belega socks have been a lifesaver for me. They have the support. I used to wear Thorlo, and they were great, but I felt like they were too thick and cushy, and they smelled really bad to me. I feel like the Belega keep the odor down. These are, I like the quarter rise. That way it's above the ankle. I have sometimes an edema, so my feet swell. And when that happens, if I have the below the ankle, it really gets puffy and annoying. Sometimes I wear compression socks, and I can talk through that in a whole episode. But when I'm just walking normally, I like the over the ankle Belega. These actually have left-right specific. They have a little bit of rubberized on the bottom to give you better grip so your feet don't slide around the shoe. Now, I also have a Belega that has a thicker pad because sometimes my feet need that thicker pad, sometimes they need the thinner pad. So I have 2 different types of Belega that I go back and forth between, but I strongly recommend getting multiple pairs of socks. These are something you want to wash after every time. You don't want that salt from your sweat, that build up the stink. You don't want that on your body. Get enough socks to where you can wear a fresh pair each time you go out on the road. Now, we've talked about underwear. Let's talk about the next most important thing when it comes to walking and running, shoes. There's a lot of opinions on this. There's a lot of facts and there's a lot of science behind it. Like, if you think you can just go throw on a pair of shoes and be ready to rock and roll, you are wrong. Now, yes, you can, but that's going to lead to some issues. Do you supinate? Do you pronate? Do you have a wide foot? Do you have a narrow foot? What's your foot box like? What's the shape of your foot? Do you have a high arch? Do you have a low arch? Do you need support? Do you like a drop? There's all of these factors. I could talk for hours about it just on the little bitty bit that I know, but I recommend doing your research. I have narrowed it down to 3 brands: Brooks, Altra, and New Balance. These 3 brands continually offer wide, larger options. I am a 15 double wide. I'm actually about to try a 14 triple wide because I think I've been getting too long of a shoe to compensate for the width. So we're going to try that next. But this is the brand Altra that changed my view on shoes. They are built with a foot-shaped toe box. That's their shtick. And this is the Torin 6. They just released the Torin 7, but this is the Torin 6. The great thing about this, not only are they foot shaped, but they're also a 0 drop. So your heel is the same height as your forefoot. So as you're walking, you're flat. You're not constantly cambered up like this. You actually have a flat, so you can feel the earth a little better. These have a little bit more padding than I like. So I think I normally like a 26 millimeter. I think these are 31 or 28, but these are great shoes. They slip on and off really easily. I think the shape of them is great. The problem I've found is if I'm walking and doing a lot in a week, with the minimal padding, it does start to get painful. So sometimes I want a little more padding. But this is the Altra Torin 6 and a 15 double wide, or 15 wide. This is the New Balance. This is a New Balance Fresh Foam X840, and you can see, has a wide platform. This is the double wide. Sorry, the Ultra is a single wide. This is a 15 double wide. It's a lightweight shoe. It's actually lighter than the Ultra, I think. It does have a lot more foam though. This is a lot squishier. I'm kind of working between, my feet have been a big issue. I have Taylor's bunions, so this outside of my forefoot really hurts. So this shoe has been great to me though. I also supinate. So some shoes have what's called control. So supinate, imagine when you're walking and you roll outward, that's supination. Imagine if you roll inward, that's pronation. I supinate. So I need a shoe that tries to keep me from rolling outward. So went with these. My third option that I have in my arsenal is Brooks. This is the Brooks Ghost 15, and it's in a 15 double wide. It does have that wider forefoot, not quite as wide as the New Balance, I think. It's a little bit heavier than the New Balance, but it's a little bit more compact. It's less squishy. The New Balance is really when my feet are sore, I'll wear those. The Brooks are my everyday wear shoes. I like these shoes just for all the time. One other thing you'll notice with all my shoes, I use lock laces. I hate tying my shoes. I'm still not able to bend over and adjust it all the time, so I use the elastics. I pull the tongue up, slide my foot in, get the back, and it's set and ready to go. This is also because of that edema. My feet swell, my feet shrink. I need that elastic. I would love to get to a point in someday where I can tie my shoes more frequently, sure. But until then, lock laces, I love them. These are the high vis reflection. You come in multiple colors. You can mix and match. You can see, black and purple, gray and red, and then I got my blue and yellow. I try and make color combos and make it look fun. So these are my 3 shoes. By no means are these going to work for everybody, but for me, I have found that these shoes help. Yeah, go out and find what works, talk to some running experts, and that will save you so much pain in the long run. Trust me, if you're running in the wrong shoe, you will hate it. If you're walking in the wrong shoe, you will hate it. Get out there and find the right shoe. Now, we've talked about the underwear aspect, talked about the shoes. Next up, most important in my view, is the eyes. You've got to protect your eyes. I live in Sunshine State, in the Sunshine City, St. Petersburg, and it is bright out there. I told you I lived in Saudi Arabia. It is bright there. I lived in Austin. It is bright. Sunglasses are a must. I started off with Costa Del Mar sunglasses. These are the Harpoons. I've had them for 15 years. Absolutely love these sunglasses. This the 580G lenses. They really give you good polarization, allows you very good clarity when you're looking, keeps your eyes safe, blocks a lot of the UV. This is something that you want if you're walking outside all the time. I like these because they actually fit really well in my eye sockets. These are all things you want to look at. But here's the thing, these are fishing sunglasses. And so they don't do a great job necessarily when you start sweating. Yeah, it runs off the brow a little, but you really want to look at your face shape and how the glasses fit your face, because that's very important. I still wear these because I love these glasses, but I also wear these sometimes. These are my Pit Vipers. I got these as a joke. They are polarized, but the thing I like is it gives you a nice shield. So when you're walking, doesn't feel like the wind's getting caught. I'm not going some fast pace. I'm not going to even act like I am, but it is nice. These give you a good wide range. I feel like I can see my peripheral. I can see when cars are coming a lot better than these. I don't have the rim to block it or anything like that. So I've embraced these. I like the Pit Vipers. Plus they're kind of funny. They give you a lot of sun coverage, which is also great because I'm not having to constantly try and squint. These are a little bit stretched out, so I do have to pull them up every now and then. I would recommend, keeping a fresh pair of glasses. Once they start getting too stretched, they won't stay up on your face as well. Adjustments are also key. These have the adjustable earpieces, so that's nice. Get some sunglasses you like. I'll talk more about a new brand that I've been trying when I get to my cycling, but for now, those are the glasses that I walk in. Next up, right now my hair is a little floofy, but my hair does get very long. And when I was living in Austin, I was working at a beer pizza place. I picked up this junk headband because I loved it. And the thing I like about them, they're flexible, they have different sizes, but they keep your hair out of your eyes. They keep the sweat contained. They also are fun. They're a color complementary to your outfit. They give you a little pop. Working out, running, walking is hard. It is hard work. Why not look good? Why not have fun when you're doing it, right? If you can wear something that makes you smile, wear it. If it's got Ninja Turtles and it brings you back to your childhood, wear it. If it keeps you going, wear it. This and anything like this is fun. It's happy. It brings a little pop of color. It makes your pictures different. If you're keeping track of your pictures, it's nice because if you have a pineapple one day and a pizza slice the next day and, team you like or a frog the next day, it makes your pictures easier to remember which day it was. Long and short, headband, not necessary, but they are good, and I recommend Junk Brands. You can actually do a custom headband with as few as 4 orders. So if you and 3 other folks wanted to do a custom one for a race, you could. That's pretty cool. Next up, we'll get into the electronics side of things. So first off, earphones, headphones, whatever you want to call them, earbuds. I started off with Apple AirPods. I found that they weren't great. The AirPods Pros always fell out of my ears, so the regular AirPods, they're apparently not waterproof. I kept having to replace them. Every 6 months they were failing on me, and it was super annoying because they could never fix themselves, contributing to waste. So I went out and found a different option. I went through a couple different types of earbuds and AirPod type earphones. But what I found was this brand. It was Aftershocks. Now they're just called Shocks. They are a bone conducting headphone. What's great about them is you can listen to music while having your ear canal open. So if I'm walking in traffic or walking in a neighborhood, not only can I hear the birds, I can hear the nature. Additionally, I can hear the cars coming. I can hear if a biker decides to break the law and ride on the sidewalk and coming behind me with their stupid bell. I can hear all of that. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm safe. Safety is key. You want to wear bright colors like shoes that reflect. You want to wear things that people can see. Another one is you want to hear cars when they're coming up behind you. You want to be able to hear when you have obstacles. So, Aftershocks, now Shocks, great company. There are a couple other brands that are doing it. I recommend not soundproofing yourself when you're walking. Hear the environment, hear nature. The nice part also is if someone comes up and you see them, you can easily just start talking. You don't have to take the earbuds out of your ears to listen. I can still hear you, which is amazing. Strongly recommend it. Almost every race I've been on these days, people are wearing this type of earphone. You can almost tell if they're a real racer or not. My buddy Chris and I joke about that. When you look around, you can tell who's serious versus who isn't. Next up in the electronics is your phone, your watch, and how they work together and how you're tracking. I use a system called Strava. Some people use Map My Run. Some people use the Nike Run. I stay away from anything Nike just because I'm very much against them. But I started off with a Fitbit. It was given to me by one of my companies, and I just kind of wore it passively. It tracked my steps. It's kind of nice. It allows you to start gamifying fitness. My friends use Apple Watch. I looked at the Apple Watch, and while it does have some good swimming functionalities now, I really was weighing the pros and cons. I ended up going with the Garmin. This is the Fenix 7S. They just came out with the Fenix 7 Pro. But I like the little bit smaller size. The 7X is just enormous. It's unnecessary. It's a lot of cost for me. The features didn't warrant the cost. I like the 7S. I'm going to tell you right now, this watch is a game changer for tracking your workouts. It tracks breath work, it tracks workouts, walks, runs, swims, bikes, everything. Get yourself a tracker if you're serious about fitness. You don't have to spend this kind of money. There are some that are less. I think right now they just put these down because they just released the Pros. So I think these are now at $600. It is a lot of money, but if you're serious about fitness, trust me, this will be a huge return on investment for your workouts, for the functionality you get. Additionally, your phone, it's important. Know what apps you want to use, know how they work and how they integrate to your Instagram, to your social medias. While that's not important to the day-to-day fitness, it is important to this, to gamifying, to socializing your exercises. So get yourself a good phone case, get yourself a good screen protector. Make sure you're thinking about these things. Now we come into the category of kind of like your final stuff. First, we'll talk about when I do walks. My arms are heavy, and when I'm swinging them, my arms kind of dislocate a little bit, and it's really painful. And so I went to my doctor to talk about this, and what he recommended was these egg weights, hand weights. And what they do, you can just hold a weight, you can hold anything, but the process of holding something, and while it's nice to have your phone in the one hand, then you're like not level, and I'm all about balance with that. I have two of these. So one in each hand, they loop around your finger, you hold them, they're ergonomic for your thumb, they're covered in this rubberized, like almost like a truck bed liner type, and they have this silicone strap here. What's great about them is when I'm walking, this engages my grip. These are only 2 pounds, but this engages my grip, and 2 pounds is all you need. It's a lot of weight. You might be able to get away with 1 pound, but that little bit of extra causes you to lock in your muscles and engage your shoulders. Because my problem is when I don't, my shoulders swing, and the nerve that runs all the way down your arm gets so stretched when my shoulders pop out, my pinky and ring finger go numb. And so I constantly have to raise my hands up and do this just to get blood flow back and get the feeling back. With these, I'm able to get rid of that. I can just walk. Now, it does take a lot more effort to do this, so keep that in mind. But you need to look into things, little things that can make your workouts and walks and runs better. This was one of them. It was a minimal investment, huge turnaround in the results that I've gotten. Lastly, something to think about if you do races. You'll see people with their numbers, their bib numbers on the front. You know, it's always great to keep them. I've got a stash over there. You've seen people do walls with them. The annoying part is the pins. They never line up. It always looks crooked. I got this magnetic bib holder. It like magnets on both sides. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. But recently, for when I tried the triathlon, I switched to a waist belt. And what's nice about this is you put the bib through these 2 slots, and you can wear it up front, or you can spin it around to the back if you really, don't want it there. It's versatile, it's easy, and what's great is this does fit me. I'm a giant person, and this actually fit me. So, something like this, the reason you want to do this, is this necessary? Absolutely not. All you really need to get into is what you're wearing in shoes. But keep in mind, if you don't think about it, you're going to have some problems. And I'm going to do another episode, that last episode, kind of the everything else. That's where I'm going to talk about creams you might want to use, gels you might want to use, water bottles, hydration systems, all of that. But this is just the equipment to get out there and start walking. Could be a turtle walk. It doesn't matter. Get out there and make the steps, because it only takes 1 step. 1 step, 1 step. Once you get going, take 10 steps, take 20 steps. Trust me, I weighed 503 pounds when I started this journey. I got out, I couldn't even walk around the block. My lungs were on fire. My legs were melted, were torched. Now, I can go walk 13.5 miles, just straight shot. I can ride a bike 20 miles. I can swim a mile. This is where it's going. I'm still overweight. I'm still in my journey. I'm still obese. But it takes 1 step to start. And if that means go get yourself some new shoes and some fun shoelaces, go get yourself some sunglasses, get the gear. If that's what gets you on the road, get the gear. If that doesn't get you on the road, get the app. Download the app, talk to your friend, do some challenges. My buddy Tony and I have been doing these Conqueror Challenges. They're virtual walks that you can compete with other friends. Do that. If you're more of a social person, find your local walk-run club and ask them if they have any time limits on their 5Ks. Go walk a 5K. I've got one on Sunday I'm going to be walking, and yeah, I never win, but guess what? I finish, and that's all that matters, because I beat everyone who didn't show up. And you've got to have that kind of confidence. While the gear doesn't matter in the actual event, it does matter up here. So keep that in mind, and hopefully some of these tips can help you not be embarrassed, can help you feel comfortable in your presence, not just in your skin, but in what covers your skin. Because when we're told as a society, or when the society tells us as overweight, obese people, you need to get in the gym, you need to lose weight, this is all your fault. Yes, I ate food and I got here. Could be my genetics, could be my stress, whatever. You don't know my story. But I know I got here for some reason. But I'm trying to get out of this place. And what you'll find is while society is very quick to judge you and tell you that they hate you on planes, that they hate you on trains, that they, hate you on an elevator, they hate you in concerts when they're behind you or next to you. Yes, it's uncomfortable and it sucks, but trust me, it's way more uncomfortable for us. We know how big we are and it sucks. And so what sucks even worse is when we try to go to the gym and when we try to make these life-changing moves and we're met with shorts that don't fit, shirts that don't fit, shoes that hurt but we wear anyway, so then we have to hobble to work the next day and look even more decrepit. These are things that we have to think about. Every time I step, I'm hitting with 500 pounds on that foot, plus you have momentum. The people that are comparing themselves to me saying, oh, why aren't you running? They weigh what, 168 pounds, 190 pounds maybe? So every time they strike, it's almost 200 pounds plus force. Think about that. When you have a shoe that's made for this person as well as someone like me, how does that one shoe cover that? You need to think about that. Shoes aren't one size fits all. Find the shoe that fits you. Find the shoe that supports your weight, your foot. Trust me, it'll make all the difference. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully there's some information. Like I said, I'm going to put the links down below. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always around to talk on Instagram or on this channel, really whatever best. But look forward to seeing you on the next chapter where we'll talk about cycling. So until then, have a great day and thanks for watching.